Hello and good day to everyone.
So for today's video, we're going to tackle about the inverse function.
And we're going to give one real-life problems involving an inverse function. First, what is inverse function? In layman's term, an inverse function is a function that reverses another relation which results a new function. A function with inverse may be regarded as do and undo relations. A function g is the inverse function of f, as whenever y equals f of x, the x is equal g of y. In other words, applying f and then g is equivalent to not acting at all. Also, an inverse function is either one-to-one function or not a one-to-one function, because an inverse of function, it may not always be a function. Like for example, 7, 2, 4, 5, 6, 8, and 9, 7. And its inverse is 2, 7, 5, 4, 8, 6, 7, 9. And it is not a function, because in a function, the x must not be repeated and it needs to have a unique pair. But the ordered pair of B is the inverse of the ordered pair of A. So it's still an inverse function.
And if a function is one-to-one, it has an inverse, and its inverse is also a function. What is one-to-one function? One-to-one function if and only if each element the domain is paired with a unique element of the range and each element of the range is paired with a unique element of the domain. Example: V shows an example of one-to-one function, which is that each element of its domain corresponds to a unique element of its range. So how to know if this is not one-to-one function? We can clearly know if the function is not one-to-one if they don't have unique pair, like for example,
this is not a
this is
one-to-one
one-to-one
function.
Because as we clearly see, the element of the domain x squared and x cubed corresponds to the same range, which is y squared.
In our everyday lives or in a real-life situation, we often apply the one-to-one function, or we apply one-to-one function in real-life situations in a different ways. Example of one-to-one function or in real-life situation. In oral communication, the performance task assigned to the student is to have public speaking, or they having a speech in each student have given different topics. It is a one-to-one function because each student have a unique topic which satisfies the rule of one-to-one function.
Additionally, in graph of a function, we can know or easily identify if the graph is one-to-one function by using the horizontal line test. What is horizontal line test? A function f is one-to-one if and only if no horizontal line drawn through the graph of f intersects it more than once.
For example, recall that a function is one-to-one if and only if each element of the domain is paired with a unique element of the range and each element of the range is paired with a unique element of the domain. So therefore, line v of x is a one-to-one function as the horizontal interact at only one point.
Inverse function can be applied also in real life situation, like for example,
Nikki had been working in US and decided to go home in Philippines. A month later, all of his money left is US dollar. Nikki has $500 and want to exchange the US dollar to pesos. When $1 is equivalent to 50 pesos, how much pesos will he get? US dollar is 1 and peso is 50. $100 is equivalent to 500 pesos. $200 is equivalent to 1,000 pesos. 300 is equivalent to 1,500 pesos. 400 is equivalent to 2,000 pesos. And $500 is equivalent to 2,500. As a result, in the solution, Nikki $500 is equivalent to 2,500 pesos. In inverse, x is equals to 1, 100, 200, 300, 400, and 500. While y is equals to 50, 500, 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, and 2,500. To get the peso in $1, you just have to multiply the US dollar and the 50 pesos. And then you will get the value of the pesos.
Inverse of a function. A equals to 1, 50, 100 and 500, 200 and 1,000, 300 and 1,500, 400 and 2,000, 500 and 2,500. B is equals to 50, 1, 500 and 100, 1,000 and 200, 1,500 and 300, 2,000 and 400, 2,500 and 500. So the rationale is said to be inverse of the others. Each ordered pair of A is the corresponding ordered pair of B, with the obfuscus and coordinate interchange, and each can inverse function.
Additionally, to convert the US dollar into peso or to convert the peso into US dollar, you'll just have to multiply the value of US dollar into peso and the value of peso to US dollar.
And again, an inverse function is a function that reverses another relation which results a new function.
That's all. Thank you and God bless. Hello and good day to everyone.
What is one-to-one function? One-to-one function, if only and only
Example of one-to-one function in
Inverse function can be also in real life situation, like for example, by side.
1 if the only if
Additionally, in graph of